Well, he surely is dead. He hasn't uploaded anything new for like 3 months now. We gathered here to commemorate his work. I now ask you for a minute of silence.
Oh, hello there guys. Whose funeral is this?
Yo. What the fuck?
Hello and welcome to yet another devlog. I know I haven't uploaded for some time now, so please take this apology video as a compensation for that. Nah, just kidding. So here's what actually happened. Prepare for a story time. So a month ago I had an exam, a really important one. Some say that it's the most important exam in your whole education process. So 5 months ago, I already knew the exam was coming, but I still wanted to start doing devlogs, even though I knew I would have to take a break. I was afraid I won't be able to make videos, work on the game and study, so I decided to share my progress, but like from a lot before. This way I would only have to make videos and study, because there is plenty of game content left to show, since I only talk about stuff I already made like months before. But yeah, that didn't work out, because I just had to study. The good news is that the game had many major changes that I haven't told you about yet. So without further ado, let's jump into the yet undocumented progress I made. First of all, the controls changed a lot since then. The movement got shifted to W, A, S and D keys from arrows, and most importantly, the action buttons got transported to mouse. That's because I added a feature that makes it so the camera follows the cursor a bit, so you can look around. This also means that some actions that used to be performed in front of the player now make him rotate towards the cursor and then perform them, so it's a lot more intuitive right now. The roll is now under left shift key. To strike with your fist you can now just use the left click of the mouse, and the right click is for grabbing stuff. The time dash also got its own button, which is space. Speaking of time dash, it had minor tweaks in speed and overall feel, but also I had to change the way it works, because it had some issues. The two major concerns I had with this ability are: 1. The player could just wait to fill the bar, which encourages passive behavior and that's not good, and 2. The ability would most of the time be used once per room, since the player can easily clear the room with one use of it. Now, I couldn't just decrease the time of the time dash, so I decided to change it a little. The ability can now be used even if the bar isn't full, and when it's on, it drains it. The player can then exit time dash by hitting space again and will be forced to exit it once the bar is empty. Also, slashing enemies now costs a lot of resources from the bar, so you have to be careful when choosing which one you want to kill first. Because of that, I also made it so the bar turns red when the player can time dash, but cannot kill at least one enemy with the gathered resources. Finally, because all of that, I also added a cooldown time to the ability, but it's nothing huge. It basically forces the player to think about where he will resume the time, because he has to survive the next seconds without the ability to stop the time. Oh, and also there's a pretty huge change, which is the ability to reflect bullets while time dashing, which leads me to... I added a second enemy! Yay! Enemies can now hold guns and shoot at you. I added this cool looking gun and bullets and this little trail effect when the bullet is being shot, as well as some small light coming out of the gun. Now that enemies can attack you from distance, I made it so that when you roll, every attack, including the melee ones too, is being dodged. Dodging incoming attacks and attacking enemies fills the time bar, so you might wanna do those things. Another thing I added to the combat option is to grab enemies. Basically, now you can take enemies hostage and hold them above your head. Then you can walk with them, although holding them makes you slower. When you hold an enemy, your hit gets replaced by an ability to throw the enemy in the given direction, knocking enemies on the way. And the grab gets replaced by a disarm ability, which puts the enemy on the ground and disarms them. It also gives you a lot of bar progress. The drawback of grabbing enemies is the speed of it. It's really slow, and if there are any other enemies nearby, you'll most likely get killed. So it's a really niche option. So these are all major changes I made to the combat system. I also tweaked a few numbers here and there a little to make sure that the things will feel balanced as possible and fun. Now, with the combat system out of the way, it's time to talk about As some of you might already know by interacting with me on my Discord server, the link is in the description by the way, I just suck when it comes to making music. And that's a really big problem when your goal is to release a game on Steam, because I want it to be the most pleasant experience possible for the player. Now, over the time of 10 months of working on this game, I've got some people asking me if they can make music for the game. It is really nice to hear that, but I think it's time for me to reveal that this part of the game is already in good hands. Long story short, I found a music producer and I just genuinely enjoyed his music, so I thought, hey, why don't I ask him if he can make music for me? What's the worst that could happen? And then messaged him without any hopes. Now, surprisingly enough, we talked and he agreed on making music for the game. I told him about how I'm not sure if the game is going to end up as a success and mentioned that I have basically no business experience whatsoever, and he agreed on doing this for free. Now, this is the part where I would like to thank you. I don't know if it's okay to mention the artist here, but he'll most likely watch this video anyway, so big thanks to you. I really cannot describe how happy I am for our collaboration. I'm really glad that I get to work with an artist whose music I truly enjoy for myself. And to anybody else wondering who he is, I think you can figure it out because I left some hints on the way here. Alright, so that was a quick announcement I wanted to make, so now let's head to the next segment, which is... I have added some sounds here and there for some of that sweet juiceful game feel. There's a sound for opening and closing doors, punching, rolling, time dashing, firing a gun, and many more. I thought I would just share a quick clip of how they sound in action, so here it is. As you might have noticed from the previous gameplay previews, in this video I added a simple light system. It allows for a simple spheric lights to be added to the game scenery. There are currently 3 different light modes in the game: lights on, simplified and lights off. So you can pick whichever suits your needs the most. For example, if your PC isn't a great one, you can try playing on simplify or lights off to increase the frame rate. Speaking of playing on the PC, I have yet another announcement to make. That's right, the game is planned to have a mobile build. We are talking about Android as for now, but who knows what the future will hold. I had this in mind for a long time now. This is the reason why all of the action keys were on the keyboard instead of a mouse, because it was way easier for me to port to a phone. But I think I can handle it now. I also coded some virtual joysticks for the phone users and I would like to show them to you on this quick mobile preview of the game. Be warned though, there are still many things that are needed to be implemented in this mobile version. But yeah, enjoy the preview. A good game is gotta have a good story, and holy, I've been working on it for some time now. I don't want to spoil anything, but I wanted to say that the main plot is finished and I already have like a pretty good idea of what the levels are gonna look like. The whole storyline is far from being finished though, but I have the main things set, so yeah. You will probably learn more once I release a demo. A demo? Yes, you heard me right. My plan is to release a playable version of the game with like 1 or 2 levels as a test. I plan to upload the demo by the end of the holidays, so somewhere around the end of September. I gotta warn you though, these are just my plans and I don't know if I'll be able to upload it by then. But you can be sure that that's my goal. If you want to be notified once it's available, you know what to do with that subscribe button. I'm just saying. Back to the topic of demo though, don't expect anything too crazy. Of course I'll do my best to make it as fun and polished as possible, but it's not a demo version that would be shared on Steam. Its main purpose isn't to lure people into the game, but rather fix any bugs that may occur on devices other than mine. So yeah, if you'd like to help, just stick around here on YouTube or on my Discord server. Alright, that was a long video for me. Literally took me almost 4 whole days to finish it. And now it's your time to shine. Tell me, do you like the changes I made? If so, which one is the best? Maybe you don't like something I showed here. Did you like this 10-minute long video? Or did you prefer the shorter ones? Do let me know why in the comments below. Also, I might try streaming someday soon, so it would be nice to see some of you here. Now I think I said the most important things, at least the majority of them. So it's time to finish this video off. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!